Evening all. Thanks for tuning in. This is CDR Season 6 here at Round 2, Tier 3, Baku. On comms tonight you've got myself, Clemel, and I will be joined shortly by Mr. Northandangle. Just having a look in the comments. Jin's checking in, saying evening teammates. Evening mate, nice to see you tuning in. Kieran letting me know the weather is dry throughout, so all dry, should be good. A very tight and tricky track. Ken Lowry's the first man out. Evening or so. Ken Lowry makes it through the castle section very calmly on his out lap. I wonder who will be the first to catch the wall at the castle. As Kieran points out, Nerfpack carrying the weight of his performance on Friday night in Tier 2 on his shoulders. Yeah, very good result from Nerfpack on Friday night, stepping in as a reserve. I'm sure he'll be hoping to replicate that. As there we go, Wabstappen, our first retirement at the castle section. I believe that was on his out lap as well. Ken Lowry just keeping it clean, but he's coming up to that tricky section now, so let's see what he does. Wab's car has been cleared up. There we go, Kane cutting a lot of that inside curb there, which the game does allow you to do. Ooh, very close to the wall there through the castle, but keeps it clean. Just round the final couple of corners now. The little S is on the straight. Keeps it pinned throughout there. I'm not sure if we had someone at the wall and into the pit lane then. Yellow flag popped up for a second. Kane Lowry 144.267 as our first lap. Quickly knocked down by Jackie with a 43.4. Nerfpack 42.7. So Nerfpack starting where he left off on Friday. We've got Haas coming across the line. I think that's Matey just starting his hot lap. Chris on the run to the line. What does he manage? 43.3 puts him up to P2. And Carl there, 42.1, fastest lap so far. Carl having a very, very good result last week in Austria. He'll be looking to continue that. As Wab checks in, saying, I hate learning no ABS. Yeah, definitely a tricky track for it. Any little mistake through that castle section, any late braking, and you're going to be a goner, really. Looks like we've got a car that's not moving. Oh, it's just started moving. Between turns 3 and 4. Not sure. Ooh. Also having 2 goals at the turning into the castle there. I think some of the yellow flags we're seeing are the lads who've just set a lap, trying to slow down to let other cars through. See what also manages now, just on this run down to the line. A 44 flat puts him P9, so also will be wanting to improve on that. As the session goes on, I'm sure these lads will gain in confidence. And Kieran, there we go, 42 flat. That's the time to beat. We've got Bart and Hound on outlaps at the moment. Bart will be the first to start a flying lap. Slow moving car again there, is that also our Gameful? Gameful managing a 42.9 as well, put himself up to P4. Just 4 men in the 42s at the moment, but they spread all the way from a 42 dead to a 42.9. So quite spread out here so far. As Bart's just coming round to the end of Sector 2 now, he's got slow moving Alfa Romeo of Kieran in front of him, Kieran on an in-lap. You won't want to be giving him a slipstream, he'll want to be well out of his way. Ooh. It's not a place where you want to be catching a car there, to be honest. And Bart manages a 43.3, puts himself P8. Hound managed a 44.118. We've got Saki on an outlap at the moment. Oh, yeah, he looks to be a bit all over the... I don't know if that's warming his tyres or what. And that is Gameful out. He's lost it on the exit of turn 2, so not a good start for Gameful. The time he'd set had him in P5, so you know he looked to be safe, but yeah, it looks like he's lost it. Saki starts his first hot lap. Oh, and he's invalidated and bounced off the wall at turn 1. Hound has gone for another run. He was slightly under his time through Sector 1. See what he manages here at the Sector 2 split. He's half a second over, so not as quick this time round. Through Sector 2. Yeah, used a lot of VRS, so I'm presuming he's had 2 laps, 2 runs, one after the other. And he's into the pits. Jackie is over his time. We've got Dylan just about to start a flying lap. Oh, as Osso's just pointed out, he's in P3. What's going on? The world's gone mad. Within half a second of P1 as well. Dylan very close to the wall there towards the end of sector 1. Keeps it clean through the castle. A bit squirrely at the end of that little section of corners though. A 1:18.1. I've just realised Dylan is actually on the medium tyres. So I'm wondering whether he's just hoping to get a time good enough to see him through on the mediums instead of wasting an extra set of softs. Dylan managing a 42.8, so good time there from Dylan on the medium tyres. Very good time. Looks like Mechanical and Matey Boy also set theirs on mediums. Saki has gone for another run at this. Manages a 44.1, puts in P14. Still got Luckman yet to set a time. Sat in the garage.
Hello there.
Evening, Dan.
Apologies for the delay. Just need to try and get my bearings there now and make sure my audio is on and stuff.
Kane Lowry is out on another run. Sorry, he's just coming up to the end of sector 2. And he's almost 8 tenths under.
Sorry, Claire, I'm just testing my audio there just to make sure because my settings aren't on. Just give me 1 sec.
No problem at all. Also happy with what he's done in P3 at the moment and retiring.
All good. Yeah, I think Dexter's having an issue joining for some reason. He says he's in the session, but he just can't pick a car, so I think it'll automatically give him a car after Q1. But yeah, some decent times. Bit of quite a spread in time here for such a. Obviously, it's a tough track, but two seconds from kind of first to last is a bit rare around here, or in this tier. Sorry.
Yeah, especially considering a second's covering your top 5 really.
Yeah,
it's very close after that.
It is one of them tracks that you can lose and gain kind of half a second, 6-7 tenths quite easily over a lap distance. Do we have a weather update today that I missed?
Yeah, it's dry all the way through. Kane Lowry has improved 43.4.
Yeah, I think since Andy left the tier, it's just going to be all dry now. Yeah, Dylan showing decent pace actually as well. To be fair to him, bit of a nightmare race from last week, but hopefully he can make amends this week. Saki has retired in the pits as well, so uh, yeah, that's everyone through at the moment. Don't even think anyone's going to risk going out again, if I'm honest.
No, there's not really any need with Luckman not even leaving the pits yet.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you could, but it's not a place I'd be pushing it to try and improve when you're already through.
No,
Maybe
definitely
Dylan
not.
also saving that set of softs. Funny actually, since that new update, you can pick the softer or balanced or harder uh, tires for the weekend session as well. So
That could be why it
yeah,
seemed
I
to be
mean,
slow loading into the session if people were picking tyres.
yeah, you can do that now. And to be honest, with a track like Baku, I actually picked the soft set to give you that extra set for quality. It's not a track that you're going to be really pitting on for tyres, difficult track to overtake on, so track position is kind of key.
Yeah, it definitely is. And as we saw here, I think across all the tiers last season, there were quite a lot of safety cars. I don't know how Friday went. Obviously, I wasn't around on Friday, but it is a track that we tend to see quite a few incidents, quite a
Yeah,
few
no,
safety cars.
yeah, I'm not sure on tier 2. I think tier 1 had one. Sorry, no, we two. Apologies. And one was as I was coming into the pits. Uh, that's just Murphy's law in this game. That safety car's coming out at the medium window. It is what it is.
Yeah, as Hound's improved on his second, well, I think it's his fourth flying lap, but his second run. Completely out of the RS again as well there on that, so done well to improve. 4 attempts, puts him up into P12. Dexter's now in and got a car. And Luckman's on an outlap.
And he won't,
He,
unfortunately, get a quality
no,
lap in.
nowhere near enough time to get round.
Yeah, but look, this is in session. Yeah, kind of difficult to see the real pace here. A lot of guys only doing one run, to be honest. Northpack and Bart showing decent pace there as well. You know, that time from Dylan on the mediums is pretty quick. Be interesting to see what his Q2 and Q3 times are like if he gets there to Q3.
Yeah, I only realised he was on the mediums as he came through to sector 3.
Yeah, no, I'd assume that lap was set on the mediums. I couldn't see why you'd come out in the softs and then go out in the mediums, but
No, it was the
yeah.
medium set. So while we wait for Steve to go round and take the checkered flag, we are going to be losing King Luckman, Webstappen, Dexter, Saki, and Gameful, who unfortunately crashed out.
Yeah, do you know what? We know, obviously it's a difficult track, but we know Gamefield seems to do better when he starts as low down as possible. Less pressure.
Yeah, not a bad time from him though. Would have seen him through. He'd have been what, 8th with that time.
Yeah, unfortunate for Gainfield there. Obviously, Saki retiring, Web Stappen having an issue on track as well. The Luckman, I'm not sure why he
I didn't
hasn't
see him
set a
come out of
time.
the pits until the very end, and then there wasn't enough time to get round.
Yeah, bit of a strange one, but obviously there must
I'm
be
not
a
sure
reason
whether
for
he's
it. So
been watching the football or what, but confirmation there as well. Dylan, Mechanical, and Matey Boy setting their times on the mediums, and that we are losing Gameful, Saki, Dexter, Wab, and Luckman. Definitely going to be a lot to play for in these next sessions, looking at how close it is around the middle of the pack and up near the front as well. So
yeah,
these Q2 and
definitely.
Q3 times, potentially see a couple of upsets.
Yeah, look, track position is key here for me. There is a few overtaking places and a few places where you'll get overtaken where you shouldn't, but Yeah. So I think track position is key here, and it depends as well because I think looking Friday night and especially through practice sessions and things, there does seem to be a big mix of kind of high downforce, low downforce. So that will play a part as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the one of the longest straights we have in the calendar. So
Yeah,
you
would be.
want that low
Yeah,
downforce, but sector 1 and 2 you lose so much time.
yeah. Sector two in particular. Yeah, you do. You lose a lot of it. Which if you're trying to attack when it comes to a race, you want that low downforce. But for quali, I think them higher wings will suit you in quali just that bit better. So if you're quick enough to be up in the first couple of rows with low downforce, you might be doing too bad at all. I know myself from the other night, I was definitely running a lot higher wings than most, but it's just one of them things that tends to work out for me. Not as much on this game, obviously the straight line speed is overpowered on this game, but I still tend to run higher wings than most. Suits me. Everyone's different, so it really depends.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's just about everyone's different driving styles as well.
Yeah.
Knowing where you're going to make up time and where you're potentially going to lose time.
Yeah, I suppose, look, again, that's kind of what I'm saying. If you find yourself around the midfield and you're being held up through sector two and you don't have the straight line speed to overtake them that the pit straight and into turn three, turn two maybe, it's kind of, you might find yourself going backwards. So it depends where you are on the track, really. To be honest, we will see hard runners here, but for me, it's a medium hard all day long. That safety car. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, but you kind of feel around here it is inevitable. And as we have seen, these safety cars, I can't remember the last time we saw a safety car coming from an incident. It tends to be people losing it or hitting a wall. A bit of debris now is bringing out the safety car as well a lot quicker. So I just think we're a lot more susceptible to safety cars on this game. So just starting on them hards is always a risk. You're nearly needing that second safety car.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the only races where the safety cars played into a hard runner's hands was last week with Osso.
Yeah, definitely.
As we've got Chris, the first man on a flying lap.
Yeah, Kieran's doing this again, going out in the mediums in Q2.
Yeah, I'm just having a look around the track map. There's quite a few people that seem to be quite close together. And now, I don't know about you, but this is definitely a track I wouldn't want to be seeing another car on.
No, absolutely not. Sector 3, Sector 1, by and large is okay, but not around Sector 2. You don't want to be in traffic. You don't want to be getting out of the way there. It's yeah. The only thing I can think of is Kieran has used a set of softs already, but I don't think he has. Is he trying to get another run on these? Which, to be honest, doesn't really make sense because you're going to get 2 runs in Q3. That's it. You're not going to get a third one. Yeah, it is what it is. I think he probably
He did
has the pace
set
to
his
manage
time
it.
in Q1 with soft tyres.
Yeah, okay. So obviously he's trying to. Yeah. Apologies. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing this again. Yeah, each was on. Whatever works.
Yeah, that's it. I think the safest option for them medium tyres is Q1.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
A couple of people taking that gamble this week and, paired out for them. They've got an extra soft tyre for this session now. Let's see what Chris manages across the line.
Kieran clips the castle section as well. Not sure if he has damage, but he'll definitely be after losing time with that.
43.1, mechanical 42.3. I've got Carl as well, who's shown some good pace. Brilliant result in Austria last week. Also, 42.1.
Yeah, very nice from Osso.
I'm just waiting for the time penalties to pop up for him.
Bit early for that, lad.
Carl, 41.8. Wow, what a time. What a lap.
Yeah, you're seeing the track evolution there as well, so you obviously think you start seeing quicker times come in as this session progresses.
Yeah, Kieran just coming up to the line. 42.6 on the mediums. 100th behind Nerf Pack.
Yeah, that's probably enough to get him through, to be honest with you. But you don't know. Could be on the cusp.
Well, I was just going to say, I think we had 5 guys in the 42s last session, and we've got 6 already.
Yeah, and Carl breaking into the 41s as well. As there was a car on the wall there, I just couldn't see what it was. I think it's an Alpine actually. Is that Dylan?
I think Dimster were pulled along to the side of the track, letting a lot of cars through.
Is there a reason we've only 14 cars in Q1, Q2?
Yeah, Gameful crashed out after setting a lap.
I couldn't see Dylan's name and now I see it, so fair enough.
Gameful set a time which would have seen him through, and then he lost it out of turn 2. Hit the inside wall.
Yeah, Gingy predicting the winner will start outside the top 10, also pointing out the track evolution seems higher here than most tracks. Yeah, it does. It does. I think it depends. Yeah, it's each to their own. I'm personally myself in quali for the first 2 races this season. Tier 1 is so stacked. I seem to have no choice but to up my game, and I think a lot of guys are feeling that because across all tiers, guys are improving week in, week out. My Q3 time Friday night was 4/10 quicker than last season. I think everybody just kind of feels that push. So could be a bit of track evolution on different tracks, and I definitely think guys improving and getting a bit quicker is definitely making a difference as well.
I think that's it. Track evolution does play a part, but I don't think it's such a massive part. I think what it is the caliber that we're getting in these 3 tiers now is just improving season on season. And you know, when you're racing with faster guys, you generally become faster yourself, and everyone's pushing each other on.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You can you either have to move with it or get left behind. Simple as that. To be honest, I don't think there's anyone in any tier that's been left behind at the moment. But
Stimster's lost his end plate.
Yeah, that's not ideal because I think he was just actually. Did he set it up? 2:20?
Yeah, 2 minute 20. He slowed down, letting a lot of cars past after the castle section. Just on board with him actually. He looked like he had a moment just before the castle section.
Yeah.
I got Kane Lowry on a lap now, yet to set a time.
Ooh. Dempster. I have no idea what happened there. It looked like he just drove into the wall.
I didn't even see.
I'm not sure if I was just looking at my phone and I looked up. He hit the wall, but I'm not sure if it was on the pit lane entrance or if it was around turn 1 or 2. His car just evaporated, essentially. So yeah, that is Dempster out. So that makes it slightly easier. Obviously, we're only 14 drivers in, so you only need to beat 3 drivers here now instead of 5. Does make it a bit easier, as Jackie has retired and that is in the pits, I think.
Yeah, Kane Lowry seems to be struggling a bit here, only managing a 43.7.
1 second here.
We've got Matey Boy going for a second run. Let's see what his Sector 1 time is. 2.5 seconds over, so he's not improving. But on his run down to the line, looks like that's an out lap. Caught me out again. Got Dylan on an out lap as well.
Yeah, we're kind of heading towards that that stage of the session. I want to say the top 3 are safe. Kind of hard to call it after that. You know, these guys can come up in a lap from nowhere, but
yeah, well that's it. Looking at it, we know Matey can probably throw a lap in. Bart was up there in the first session. We've seen Bartman do it. We've seen Kane Lowry do it, but he does seem to be struggling today.
Yeah, it's a slippy track. I find it's one of the slippiest tracks on the calendar. It's such a slippery track. Could be set up as well, but
yeah, not just that. I think it's how we were talking about track conditions. Like obviously, as the sun starts, sort of, you know, the shady parts of the track, you feel it, you notice it. It does feel slippier.
Yeah,
the colder parts. Bart is improving. He's the second under his time at Sector 2.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick on board with Dylan and see what he can do in this lap.
Dylan looks like he's got Kieran just behind him as well. Kieran going for a second run. There we go, Stingray's checked in. Also not out in Q1. Bart managing a 42.2, puts himself up to P3.
Yeah, quality time there as Dylan clips the wall at the end. The exit of 15. Don't think he took any damage. And I have absolutely no idea the sector times here, so this could put Holland in trouble. It looks to be.
Oh! It sounded like Dylan were on a roller coaster then.
that wall there should be made of rubber, not concrete. Yeah, he should do enough for that. That's a decent lap. That puts Steve in trouble now, who is on an out lap or is on a hot lap, and he's over his time. And he's coming into the pits, I believe.
Kieran's just at 41.6.
I'm not sure what Steve is doing there.
He might have a bit of damage, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, but I'd be surprised if he's time to get in and out again.
It didn't look like it there, to be honest. Got Bark and Kane out on outlaps at the moment. Obviously Bart and Dylan have set a time. Kieran's just set his time.
Yeah, I think Kieran has shown a lot of pace around here.
Yeah, he did well here last season, and then picked up rear wing damage. Struggled through a lot of the race, and ended up losing it right near the end. I think it was like 2 laps to go.
Sounds like a regular race weekend for Kieran.
He doesn't normally get that far into it.
Yeah, and somehow it ends up being my fault. I have a bit of a chest infection, if you can't hear. It's quite difficult.
Just on board with Kane Lowry at the moment, doing a bit of tyre warming through Sector 2.
Yeah, this is kind of their last chance, really. Matey's on an O, or Chris is on an O lap as well, but he's safe. Steve got back on an O lap, just not sure if he has enough time to get around.
He should do. He's got a minute 46. He's at the end of the DRS in Sector 1, so he should have plenty of time there. Oh, sounds like Kane Lowry just bounced off the wall as well.
Let's see what he can do as he heads towards. No, he's just starting a lap. Apologies.
It keeps catching me out. It's caught me out twice already this session.
Actually, I found it hard the other night when to start my ERS. At what part of the back straight do you start your ERS? Being so, you know, the distance between the start finish line and turn 1 is so small. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to run out near the end, but possibly lost myself a bit of time there. You know, maybe starting too late. Just looking at where Kane Lowry started, he started it quite early.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think with the heavy braking zones in Sector 1, you probably do pull a bit back, but yeah.
See, that's the other thing actually that I never understood. Do you know that, like, do you have the full 100% for your full quali lap?
No. So if you look just to the side of the battery level, you have the yellow, which is what's being deployed for that lap, and the white underneath it is what's being recovered that lap.
Ah, yes.
So potentially you could have, in the run down to the start-finish line through Sector 3, you could use 30% of battery, which is pretty much all of, you could use all of your full lap for the previous lap sort of thing, because then
Yeah, yeah,
that counter restarts as you cross the line.
yeah. I get you. Ooh, think he's last home at the castle.
It's not the castle.
No,
It's,
turn 3.
yeah. Looks like
Yeah,
he's maybe clipped the curb on the entrance of turn 3. Kane Lowry, it does improve. 42.4, puts himself up to P7. What does Bark
yeah.
manage as Bark's coming up to the line?
Ooh, he lost Chris
42.3,
out.
puts himself up to 6.
That turn 3 is, even though it's an easier turn to take now because the curves there are essentially flat compared to the last game, but it's just kind of entices you in to take a more of a risk, and you can overshoot it and
Chris
hit the barrier.
Chris isn't out. He's on a lap.
Oh,
He's
Chris
7
is in a
tenths
lap.
under at Sector
Apologies.
2.
Apologies, I thought he was out. Can you do it? He can? Oh, what a lap!
42.2, what a lap. So Jackie, who retired out of P5, has now found himself out of the session and in P11.
Yeah, not sure if he was trying to save a set of tyres or not, but they won't be used now at this stage anyway, so...
Yeah, I think it was after everyone had done the first run, maybe he felt safer than he should have, but as we were saying, the cut off around the 42.6 again.
Yeah.
It's getting almost like we know what we're talking about with them.
Oh, come here. Experts.
And there we go, Mechanical actually set a lap as well and beat Kieran. I must have missed that. A 41.4 by Mechanical.
Yeah, that's good time. That's a mega time actually. That's very... I think I set that in Q2, I believe. Maybe slightly quicker, but not too far away from it. Yeah, look. Yeah, look, I won't say it. I'll leave it off.
4 drivers we're losing there. They are Dimster, Hound, Matey Boy, and Jackie. Jackie retired in the pits. I think Matey Boy did stay in throughout the whole session, but Dimster and Hound both crashing out.
Yeah, Q3. Obviously, I didn't take much notice of who had what tyres, but I'd be surprised if they don't have 2 sets each. I think the top 3 or 4 guys will have 2 sets each. So it is a shootout. I do try and get through Q1 on one set if at all possible. I think putting all your eggs in one basket in Q3, even though you might have to, I don't think you can really get the lap that you want. Unless you set a lap on scrubs and, for your second run, just absolutely give it everything. If you crash, you crash.
Yeah, I have noticed trying to do that on certain high wear tracks. Your tyres are
It's
just too
impossible.
dead to even set an
Yeah,
half decent time.
yeah. I tried that at Austria, row 1, and I was like 5, 6, 10 stone on my second run on the same set of tyres. It was just waste of time.
Yeah. As we've got a McLaren out on track, which is Mechanical, first man out.
Kieran saying there's a half a second in his time as he hit neutral at turn 7. You know what? I'm going to say, if Kieran and Colin are battling near the front, they're going to end up in a wall. As that is an Aston Martin straight out of turn 1, or turn 2, apologies, and that's Chris. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified. We know this game does have a bit of a tendency to do strange things like that.
He is
So
currently doing a 19-point turn.
Yeah, and he hit the wall there. See, this is where it disqualifies you. You might think you're trying to go backwards on track. Can happen, but it looks like he got away with it. He did clip the wall, so hopefully he doesn't have any wing damage. That's hella rude, Kieran. Yes, it is rude, but actually...
I'm just picturing, was it the Red Bull drivers here a few years ago? And the run into turn 1 played into each other.
Ooh, yeah, it was, yeah.
I think it was like one of the first seasons we raced here. Yeah, but you know, I've been wrong before. We'll see.
Not that often.
No, not that often.
I was wrong once before, but then it turned out after that I was right. So.
So we got Mechanical across the line now, through turn 1, started his flying lap, his first run here in this Q3 session.
So if Kieran did it 41.6 and he reckons he has half a second, that's 41.4. Track Evolution should be another 4/10, which would have given P1 in Tier 1. Let's see it, Kieran. I'm expecting a 39.7. Let's see what he can do. Actually, who's first across the line? Not losing my train of thought.
It'll be Mechanical. I'm just trying to work out your maths. You set a 41.6 and there's half a second in it, so it should be a 41.1.
Yeah, Track Evolution then. Got to call that 30 points for the sake of arguing. not adding pressure or anything, but yeah.
Well, he brings it on himself with his comments, so
absolutely.
Let's go.
That's the only reason I said it.
As Woodman's left.
I'll get him back in.
Perfect, thank you. Looks to be a fairly solid lap here from Mechanical. Nothing, you know, not setting the world alight, but definitely no slow lap, not a banker.
Yeah, it's actually said luck was in the session, so not sure. As Colin will be the first guy to set a time, let's see what he can do. And that is very slow from Colin, considering his last time, so definitely had a couple of issues there. He's going to want to get back around and get set for another run. Bart with a decent lap there as well. Kane Lowry improving again.
Nerf Pack looks on a decent lap. 41.9. Wow.
I tell you what, Nerf Pack is showing mega pace, and he was showing it again Friday night as also with a 41.6.
I think this may be the season of the underdogs.
Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it.
Absolutely, but we've got Carl on a lap at the moment, so let's see what he can do. He's just coming through the castle section now. Absolutely love this section as a spectator. Absolutely hate to drive it.
Chris with a 44.3 definitely had some issues there, I suspect. Yeah, that back straight there is well, that back bend can catch you. That braking zone into 15. That wall is just asking for your front wing every time, lap after lap.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, them little kinks on that back straight. I think it was it season 3 when we were in the Ferrari? We were given some advice that you could keep your ERS open through that, and then lap 1 I was in the wall.
Yeah, me also. Not lap 1, but I did the exact same thing, and I was quite angry with Draft after that. And I'm going to name and shame him because Baku's my strongest track, if not one of my strongest tracks. Osso is out.
Osso's out. Yeah, he's crashed.
He's out.
And Carl set a 41.6 flat.
I suspect he caught that curb on the left on the back twist. Unfortunate for Osso. Still set a good time, but he won't get another run at it.
That's a shame. Yeah, depending on track evolution, we could see Osso drop down a few. I'd probably still expect him to be around top 5, maybe 5th, 6th.
Yeah, just on board with Kieran, who's heading towards the start-finish line, looking to set a 39.7. Let's see what he can do. It won't be a 39.7. It'll be a 41.1, which is
the half a second that he claimed.
That is the half a second. Without track evolution, that's not a half a second. Kieran is a liar. Stab and take from Kieran there. Half 10 clear, Carol. Super time.
Half a second clear.
Yeah. Unless I'm looking at something else.
You said half a tenth. Sorry, yeah, I read it to myself. Okay. When I said it out loud, half a second, I was saying it to myself. I apologise. I said it out loud.
Yeah. Did I say half 10 and then half?
Yeah.
see, I was wrong, and it turns out I was really wrong. So, yeah. I'd imagine, I think mechanically we'll try and battle that again, but this session does seem to be a lot closer than the last two sessions, so I'd expect a bit of moving around on the final runs here. As Dylan is on an out lap as well. Not sure what's going on there. He may only have one set of tyres. He won't get another lap, so he might be just picking that kind of setting or getting his lap in before the guys go for the final run to get a full clear track. He does have a Haas in front of him.
That's what I've just noticed then. Bart's just come out of the pits ahead of him.
Bart has noticed it and he's well over to the left. Good driving from Bart, well off the racing line, not impeding, not getting involved, super stuff. Let's see what Dylan can do. I think it's one of these tracks, you just have to find your groove and you just have to keep repeating them laps over and over again. It's a pretty... Oh, Jesus Christ, I thought he was in the wall with his leg.
It's a pretty Jesus Christ.
I was like, whoa, where's he going? Don't want to be dropping F-bombs in quali.
Oh, we saved that towards the end of the season. Oh, a bit wide on the exit there after the castle section.
I don't know, obviously, look, you didn't race Friday night, but I think this track is a tough track on pad. Even though I'm led to believe it's track OP, but I just think it's so squirrely.
Yeah, it's not a track I've ever really enjoyed, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I've crashed out every year we've raced here. As I'm sure I heard Dylan hit the wall again though.
Yeah, small bit of crunching going on. Not even sure what kind of a time he's looking at here, but let's see.
Doesn't look to be too bad.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's a decent time from Dylan.
41.7, puts himself P4.
Yeah, and I assume he's going to stay there as well. He's not going to get back around, and he possibly only had one set of tyres, so you'll start to see guys coming back out on track now for the final run, I would suspect.
As there we go, Kieran's getting his excuses in already. He had to avoid a stricken or so and clipped a barrier. As it looks like we've got a very slow moving Red Bull there. That's Bart. I think he's on an out lap as well. Just on board with Bart here as he is on a flying lap. Dylan did return the favour and get out of the way of him.
Yeah, I just wonder, was he impeded by Bart there? I'm not sure, I couldn't see properly, but don't think he was. Bart could have been more over towards the right, but I don't think he was impeded. But let's see what he can do. Showed a lot of pace in the first two quality sessions.
Yeah, I've never done it, so I'm not speaking from experience, but it seems like one of these tracks that you must be buzzing if you hook up a lap. You must feel so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Bart's invalidated.
Oh, unfortunate for Bart. Yeah, I hooked up my Q3 lap, my second run, and it just, I knew coming down that back straight that it was quick. You just got a sense, you just got a feeling for it, and yeah, it's great because it's one of these tracks, you have to drive it on the limit to get the fastest time, but there's a very fine line between the limit and the barrier.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's it, a track that looks, barely wide to get two cars side by side.
Kieran's not going for another run, is he? Oh, he is, apologies. Let's see. As he should be looking at a 39. A 40. A 40? I'm looking at the wrong one. My head is a bit fumbled at the moment. A 40.7 I was thinking of, not a 39.7.
And that's Batman Do out. Was that in the pits?
I wouldn't think. Yeah, it is. He came back in.
Okay, Lowry, Josh coming up to the end of Sector 2 now. 7/10 under his time there at Sector 2.
And a purple Sector 2.
So after saying he was struggling, he's made it through to Q3 and making me eat my words.
Yeah, if he just hooks up this lap, or Sector 3, which is kind of pretty simple to, you know, to hook up. Let's see how much he can improve by. He does improve by 7/10. That puts him up to P5.
Yeah, good lap time there, 41.8. Just on board with Kieran, see what his time is through Sector 2.
Oh, Dylan is after setting a proper Sector 2. He's nearly out of battery. He might possibly be out of fuel. Oh, this is going to be really tight for Dylan.
Kieran's almost half a second under at Sector 2.
Dylan's battery just died at the wrong time. Oh, so unfortunate.
Kieran's almost half a second under here at Sector 2. He might be giving you the time you want.
I got completely confused. It was a 39.7 is what I was expecting. I got my maths mixed up. It's a D from Kieran.
Yeah, brilliant lap time that. Absolutely brilliant. Carl does improve, but can't touch Kieran there with that time. Mechanical does improve as well, up to P3, 41.4.
I will be back in a second.
Nerf Pack 2/10 under. He will be the last man across the line, as Chris did improve as well, 41.9. Nerf Pack manages to get up to P6. There's confirmation of your top 10 for the race. Kieran with an absolutely dominating performance there in that Q3 session. 6/10 clear of Carl. Mechanical also crashing out, but still making it up to P4. Nerf Pack with his last lap putting it P6. And Bart, unfortunately, retiring in pits. Bart having an issue on his lap as well. And I will be back very soon before we start the race. And I am back. Just a quick look at the tyres. Top 7 going for mediums, Chris on the hards, Bart and Bark on the mediums, Jackie on the hards, Matey Boy going for the softs, and then Saki the only hard runner out of the back 7. Back 6, 7. Not too sure what happened with Gameful, but he was disqualified from the formation lap, as Mechanical is as well. As Mechanical says, also tanked him into the wall on the formation lap. That's strange. Yeah. If that is the case, it's strange because it normally disqualifies both cars.
That is not ideal, especially if their tyres aren't warmed up. First couple of turns here are quite tricky.
Yeah, well, I know when I came back and the guys were coming through sector 2, Gameful was already on the grid. He'd already been disqualified. Mechanicals happened middle to the end of sector 2. So his tyres probably would have been a bit warmer than Gameful's would.
Matey Boy starting on the softs.
Yeah. Seems a strange decision. Maybe he's hoping to make some places up. Early safety car.
Yeah, quite possible. I think with Kieran's quality pace, I think Carl needs to get a flyer here in turn 1. I think that's his only chance. If Kieran can turn that quality pace into race pace, it's going to be hard to see anyone kind of catch him.
Yeah, as I say, Kieran did have a solid race here last season in Tier 2, but he picked up rear wing damage early in the race.
This does look a bit strange as well, if I'm honest.
I'm not too sure what we are waiting for here.
Yeah, does seem to be a glitch.
Yeah, not too sure what is happening here. Osso's left the session.
Could that be the issue? Obviously, we're not in the admin chat, Clay, so we're just going to have to leave it up to the admins to make a call on this. Just hope we have quality time.
Yeah, bit of a strange one.
Yeah, this is definitely a glitch, so I'm just going to wait for Kieran or Hound to leave the lobby.
Yeah, I'm the host of the lobby, so... Oh, what's just happened?
Oh no, here we go. Ooh. I think we're away. As we are starting under...
I'm not too sure what's going on. It's just said Dimster drive through. Really not too sure what's just happened there at all.
Yeah, me neither. We did appear to be starting under yellow flags, but it left. That could have possibly been that there's a car at the back.
Yeah, Osso's been disqualified. Dimster
has been.
Dimster's got a drive through. Seems a bit strange, this.
Yes, it does. I'm not overly sure, Clay, because everybody else seems to be getting through okay.
I think the fact that Dylan managed to get 3 people off the line, I think the start was bugged. I think the lights maybe went out at different times for people. Obviously, Dimster picking up a drive-through off the lights, also being disqualified. Not too sure what's gone on there at all.
Yeah, not really much we can do about it. Obviously, we're not in the session, so I don't know. Yeah, look, all we can do is crack on.
Yeah, I had just taken a picture of the starting grid and the tyres everyone was on, and then as I looked back, it popped up saying the jump start.
Yeah, Dimster saying his game crashed. I think that could possibly have something to do with that, as Dimster is in the wall at the S's. I think Dimster's game crashing could possibly have bugged the race start.
We got Wab into the pits as well. Game full, Luckman both into the pits. Is this a VSC? Yeah, looks that way.
Yeah, my intervals are kind of all over the place as well.
Oh yeah, I've got my sector leader. And it looks like we're back racing now. Dimster has just retired. It looks like his car's coming back out on track though.
Yeah, that's... His car has already caused problems by putting in the pits, so I don't think it's advisable to do it again, but as well as
Yeah, Carl looks to have a move done on Dylan on the run down for turn 1. Got Chris into the pits. Jackie setting the fastest lap on a set of hard tyres. Hound fastest lap on the mediums, 47.5. And oh, that is a car going straight on. Who was that?
that's I think that's Osso's Williams, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Was that Dimster?
Yeah, look, it is what it is. We're gonna have to just settle out into this race now at this stage. Carl showing a lot of race pace here. It's really closing up in the back of Kieran at the moment.
Yeah, I think Carl and Mechanical were your most likely competitors for Kieran, to be honest. Dylan obviously taking advantage of the start there, getting a brilliant launch and taking 3 positions into turn 1. Just sort of helped Kieran out a bit, but Carl is closing that gap down.
Yeah, do we have ERS? It's going to make a massive difference on the back straight.
I've not seen the message pop up. I think it might have been delayed due to the VSC.
Yeah, Carl running a lot lower wings as well. Just going to ride on and see, does he get DRS? Don't think he will. And he does, so yeah, DRS is in play, and that's definitely going to him Carl now as he's chasing down Kieran, and Dylan in and around that, as well as Mechanical looks to make a move on Dylan into turn 1, and he does. Oh, Dylan! Oh.
He's lost. He's lost his front right end plate there on that. Yellow flag.
Having coming together with Jackie at turn 1.
He's lost his end plates as well. Yeah, you can see this now through sector 2s where Kieran's going to sort of take that advantage back away from Carl.
And that's Bart dropping on the order
That's
as
a
well.
full safety car.
For what?
I think there was... I'm not sure if it was
Debris?
the Haas or the Alfa Romeo sandwich between the Haas's. I saw a yellow flag pop up sort of where they were coming through track. Yeah, the Haas at the back there's got no front wing. Bart has no front wing.
Yeah, debris, that's what I'm saying. That debris does bring out the safety cars really easy. The question now is, do the medium runners go onto the hards? It is definitely doable. Or do they hold on? I'm not sure. I think last season I pitted at lap 5. Them hard to definitely go to the end. They won't be nice near the end, but they will do it. Be interesting to see what Kieran does here. Guys with wing damage, you'd imagine, will come in and get that replenished. Obviously, you're not losing as much under the safety car. You will lose position, but you won't lose as much as if you're pitting under normal race conditions. So, yeah, interesting to see what Kieran does here.
I'll also be interested to see his safety car restart as well, because obviously Carl running lower wings is going to catch him massively on the straight, so he won't want to get going too early.
Yeah, Kieran is staying out for the looks of it. Yeah, he is. And that is Dylan Fitz for a wing, and he should go on the hards as well, which, as I said, will get you to the end.
Okay, Lowry and Matey in, which means Bart's going to be double stacked behind Matey, which is pretty much going to ruin his race now.
Dylan doesn't make a tyre change. Mistake, in my opinion.
But we've got Saki up 10 positions into P6.
As Dylan puts on a fresh set of mediums.
Is he, I don't know, maybe stretching these mediums out, going to softs at the end?
These mediums will start feeling crap in about 8 laps time, 9 laps. I don't see how that's... What, he's left 21 laps, he wanted to be getting 15 laps over the mediums, and even at that, 6 laps from the softs would be torture as well.
Well, maybe that's it then. He's just, as he had to pit for wing damage, he's popped another set of mediums on to take him as far as possible, and then, you know, maybe stick with his original strategy and pop the hards on. But it's looking good for 3 teams at the moment in the top 6. Alfa Romeo 1st and 5th, Ferrari 2nd and 6th, and McLaren 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, I was just talking to Osso there. He got kicked out. I have to suspect that glitch was caused by Dempster's game crashing, but strange that Osso was the only one who was kicked out. Very, very strange.
Yeah, well, I was waiting to see whether it started kicking, because normally if it's the person who has caused the bug, as soon as they leave the session it readies up and starts, which it didn't when Osso left.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Very, very strange. Something I've not experienced while hosting, if I'm honest. You know, I host Friday's races every week, and it's very rare we have an issue or have to do a restart or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think this is any connection problem. I feel this is a Dempster issue with his game crashing. Could have caused an issue. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I think Dexter has said as well, his game crashed, he ended up with a blue screen, he couldn't see anything. So I think it could just be a mix, maybe, yeah, a couple of other issues that people have had at the same time, just a coincidence.
Bart has dropped in for the softs, Matey has got rid of his softs, the mediums won't go to the end. Yeah, look, it's hard to call him. Another safety car changes as well, but I think if you took the gamble on the hards here to the end, it was absolutely doable. But
Looks like Kane
You know,
Lowry's the only one that has done that. Your lads at the back as well, sorry, Bark and Wabav as well.
Yeah, well, Kane Lowry's in P8, so he does have he's technically net P1 at the moment. But they will obviously drop off towards the end massively, but you just have to see where it is at that stage. Don't think he's in a bad position at all, as the safety car should come in this lap, but you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying, this safety car is bringing, or this game, the safety car comes out for nothing. Well, not for nothing, it comes out more for debris, whereas the last game, I think it really only came out if there was a car on track after being destroyed in a wall. I don't think it came out for debris. Or
no,
not as much anyway.
I think the marshals have took a bit of a break from last season. You see, they don't clean it up as quick.
The marshals are on a go slow.
There we have the message: safety car in this lap. So Kieran will back the field up, and if I'm honest, I think he'll wait until the latest possible moment to go. He doesn't want to give anyone a slipstream here down this straight.
Yeah, I understand why you'd take it as close to the line as possible. That does cause its own issues, but yeah, technically, you know, you're not doing anything wrong. He's the car in front, he dictates the pace, and that's it.
That's exactly it. You can't really go until the leader's gone. I think we just tend to see people who leave bigger gaps to the car in front, and then
Carroll wasn't sleeping there at all. And will he make a move in the turn one? No, he won't. He backs out. Sensible Kieran does leave the space, anticipating the move, so fair play there.
Yeah, Carl, brilliant restart there. Definitely wasn't caught out.
Oh, there's a massive
Kane Lowry.
Not sure, it was an Aston hit the back of Dylan.
Kane Lowry's dropped down the order. He was in 8th on the hard tyres.
Yeah, Chris. Oh, we've 2 cars on the run off into turn 3. Gainful outbraking himself, and Lockman outbraking himself. They did a Hamilton at turn 3. Oh, unfortunate. I was going to say, it's absolutely murder to try and keep temperature on the hard on the safety car.
Yeah, definitely. Especially on a track that's so technical as well.
Yeah,
and so narrow. You know, you don't really have the left to right room as much as you would at other tracks. Kieran is building that gap slightly through sector 2 up to around 9/10, but this is where Carl now is going to start bringing that gap back.
You know what? I had this with LOA Colin last season. I was just gapping him so much through sector 2 he couldn't catch me even with DRS, and I think we could possibly see the same here, as we do have a yellow flag in sector 3, and that's slow moving Aston. That's Kane Lowry, I believe. It's not Kane Lowry, it is a car.
King Luckman.
It's a full safety car again.
Yeah, it's a full safety car.
Yeah, you got to get in for the hards though, come on. No, Kieran missed it. Anyone in the mediums, you have to get in.
Hound's pitted. Bart's pitted as well. He did have the softs on.
Everybody should be on hards now, so this changes
pitted.
it up. This is going to completely change the order now again. You basically got the bottom 9 now, net, kind of top 8, 9.
You confuse me then.
Yeah.
Matey and Dylan have pitted, and Wabstappen's pitted for the hard. So Wab's done his mandatory pit stop, whereas none of the lads in front of him have.
Yeah, I didn't think of that actually. Stops. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From P7 down, or I kind of, you know, starting from Matey's net P1 and work your way down from that. Just trying to see what tyres are on. Gainful on 6 lap all hards. He can take them to the end. I think Harker are in a decent position here. Bark will have to pit again. I don't see them mediums getting to the end. Chris will get to the end. Kane Lowry, I don't see 18 laps on the mediums. Maybe, but I don't see it. And obviously your top 7, your top 6 are going to have to pit. So yeah, this.
Yeah, well, I think Matey and Dylan both have to pit again anyway, because I think they've put 2 sets of mediums on. Or did Matey start on the softs?
Matey started on the... Was it Matey or Bart started on the softs?
I think
It was Matey.
it was Matey,
so he doesn't have to pit again, but I don't see them mediums going to the end. Dylan will have to pit again, obviously. But yeah, the cars around aren't in a bad position at all. If we don't have another safety car, this is going to change things up big time. Safety car, obviously, again, throwing the whole thing in. I think that, I'm not sure who missed the pits. I wasn't sure where Kieran was.
I thought Carl was coming in then. But no, he's not. No, I think they'd already... They might have had the chance, but whether or not they changed the strategy quick enough on the MFD or what, I'm not too sure. They were flying down the back straight as it showed the safety car coming out. So.
And he's saying why North, so that suggests to me North was in a position. North was in a position. Jesus. North was in a position to come in to the pits.
No, I think he's replying to Blue's message. Because Blue said not to jinx anybody, so not naming names, but that P4 McLaren driver is flying. So Andy Boy's made us say the name, so if he crashes it's his fault.
I will say many laps in with 4 drivers not in the session, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. The field is quite spread now as well. If I'm honest, I'm surprised Kane Lowry didn't come back in and put hards on, being at the back anyway. I just don't see these mediums. They'll do 11 according to the game, but after lap 8, mine were awful. I don't see how you can do 15 laps, 16 laps on them and maintain any sort of decent race pace.
Yeah. Obviously, I wasn't here on Friday, so I didn't do too much practice. So I'm not too sure myself, but from previous, they never really felt good.
It's awful. It's the game recommends 11 laps. You start really feeling it after 8, and by 11, you just want to throw them off the edge of the cliff. The hards are a decent enough race tire here. As I said, I did 20 laps here in season 1. Oh, Ken Lowry's going to be really caught by this as the game has decided to bring the car in. Or safety car in where Kane Lowry's only come through the castle section. That's unfortunate for Kane Lowry, and a bit strange as well, but it is what it is.
He might be alright, because Kieran's going to slow the field up here, whereas he can still pin it.
Yeah, let's see if Karen gets a good restart here as well. As I said, I know we've had 2 safety cars, but I don't see the mediums lasting any more than 4, 5, 6 laps. Kieran has gone, and he has gone early.
Yeah, obviously tried to go late last time, didn't catch Carl out, so maybe he's tried catching him out this time. He looks more comfortable into turn 1 this restart. Mechanical has gone with him as well. He's not been caught out there either. As game full.
Hound's struggling here a bit. There's a Haas gone up the inside as well. I'm not sure who that is. There's definitely contact. That is Bark going up the inside. Yeah. Hound is struggling big time here because Bark is going to take him now as well. I wonder if he have wheel damage. Did he hit someone under the safety car? Oh, Bark has a big rock up again. Pretty clean safety car restart there. Kane Lowry, he has got caught. He's 5 seconds off the pace nearly. Unfortunate for Kane Lowry.
Oh, we've got a big collision there. There's 3 cars. There's cars everywhere. Oh, this is scary coming into the castle. Who's that? Aston Martin? Is that Chris?
Oh my God almighty tonight.
Chris has just completely cut the corner. It looked like he speared someone.
Yeah, he has. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking. No suggestion that it was intentional, because that's not Chris, but
yeah, there were a lot of cars all over the place there, and it looked like he tried, he'd missed his braking, so he tried cutting the inside to avoid.
No, he's done it again. He nearly took Bart out there.
He's got no wing now, so he needs to just get out of the way.
Oh, and this is going to cause a lot of trouble to the S's as well, I think.
I don't know what's happened to Gameful. Gameful's going really slow here.
yeah, Gainful is in. I think he was involved in that. That's just a sham. That's just shambolic. Whatever went on there, I'm not sure.
And
But
Chris is out.
Chris,
He hit the wall on pit entrance.
and Matey boy's out. Did he hit Matey?
No, I don't know where Matey Boy is. I'm not sure if Matey's done that in the pits or whether he's just followed Chris into the pits and hit the wall as well. That's ridiculous. We'll have to wait and see what the stewards, see what comes in after that. But the bit of driving that we've just seen is not good enough. Just looking at the cars. Yeah, so there's
hitting guys under the safety car as well.
There's a car that's come out. Yeah, no, Verstappen's caught Gameful, who caught a car that had been released after retiring in the pits. So that's Matey Boy.
Boy's car,
yeah, Matey Boy had retired. I think Gameful's come out the pits right behind it. I'm not too sure what happened, but there was a big collision with probably 3-4 cars involved. Just where Gameful's coming through now. Is it turn 5 and 6?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what was going on there, to be honest.
It looks like we're back racing. I thought we had a safety car then for some reason.
Oh, Dylan's into the pits as well. Kind of hard to tell at this stage, to be honest with you.
But Hound now back up to P7 after all that as well. We've got mechanical. Oh, we've got a full safety car. What's happened? I'm not too sure what has happened, if I'm honest. Don't know whether that's a coming together between Gameful and Wab, or they're close. They were close together at the end of Sector 2, but they seem to have spread out now. Neither of them in the pits, so it doesn't look like they have damage. Not too sure what's just happened though.
No idea what's happening in general, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Bart. He's lost his front wing again. So that is what the safety car's out for, as Bart has lost his front wing.
I just don't understand why people can't just relax a small bit. It's a street track. It's narrow. Guys ask for, street tracks and challenging tracks, and then you gotta just toe the line then as well. You have to adapt your style for tracks like this. Baku's a tricky track, but very enjoyable if it works out. But yeah, still we've end of the day we got 13 drivers here. Everybody's still they're still in the session. So
Kieran has pitted now.
Yeah, the front runners have pitted, and I think with that safety car, they'll get back out as well. So they've been saved by that safety car big time.
Yeah, Jackie now leading the race. Did he start on them hards, or did he pit that one? Not too sure.
Yeah, the front runner is absolutely saved by that safety car, and Hound is now between Kieran and Carl as well, which is going to affect Carl. So yeah, you got Kieran back into net P1 as you were.
Yeah, definitely helps him out there. Just looking at the order, mechanical coming out P6. Nerf pack will have been held up behind mechanical. It would have been double stacked. Coming out behind Bark in P8. I wouldn't expect Bark to get to the end on them tyres though, another 13 laps.
Yeah, to be honest, I've absolutely no idea why Saki and Jackie stayed out. 13 laps left, under 1 or 2 under the safety car. The mediums will do that. I think they're just kind of they're out of this unless they get another safety car, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, do you have a link to the Discord, Andy, there, Dan?
Ooh. There's no way there's somebody watching this that wants a link. Yeah, Yeah, I do. I'll pop it in there, but...
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, it's a difficult one. As you say, it's a track that a lot of people wanted in the calendar, and then we just, yeah, I don't know whether it's people turning the brains off or what, but we always seem to struggle here with incidents.
Yeah, look, I don't...
roll on Singapore towards the end.
Yeah. Admin's discretion, I think, overrules everything but...
So it will be Jackie getting us away this time round. Safety car is out for another lap, so this will let is that Gameful and Wab catch up.
Yeah, I think I need a beer. Back in the wheel.
Dylan back into the pits. Not too sure if he's picked up a bit of wing damage. Yeah, he's missing an end plate there. So there's another front wing for Dylan. I think he's used Alpine's front wing budget today. Adam's joined the Discord. Yeah, nice one, mate. Obviously, all admins are currently either involved in racing or commentating, so it'll be picked up as soon as we get this out of the way. You'll get a message from one of the owners, and then we'll take it from there. Get you booked in for a trial. But for now, you can sit and enjoy some of what Baku has to offer. Not so much what we have to offer. No, we're not currently doing crossplay. It's PlayStation only.
Let me guess, new guy's past now?
Yeah, he's asked if it's crossplay. It's when we've tested it, we've found too many connection issues, so
yeah.
We'll just be keeping it PS.
No, this is going to be very interesting. We got the guys ahead on a lot of older tyres. You got Kieran and Carl Mechanical in there who are going to have a lot of pace. Hound finds himself in P4, who has kind of struggled a small bit as well, so it's interesting to see how this one plays out. Preferably if we could have 12 laps of racing, that would be great. No reason why we can't, so I think just settle down and on we go.
Well, I think the front two still have to pit, you know.
Yeah, they have to pitch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit interesting to see how this plays out with the guys that are P1 and P2 at the moment on old cars who realistically have about 6 race laps on them. So
there we go. Jackie's got us underway.
Yeah, Kieran Taxi from there, big time.
Carl making a move. Is he on Hound? He's very close. Oh, he's bumped him.
That was Hold.
I know, I saw Kieran wide. I saw Hound catch him, but I also caught Carl catch Hound. I'm not too sure what happened. Mechanicals dropped to the back of the grid. Nerf Pack's down in 8th. Kieran's trying to get back at Hound.
Who just leaving the stream, so maybe that explains that. I'm not sure.
But now Carl's your net race leader.
And that's Bart dropping down again. That's going to be no safety there.
Is that another front wing gone? No, he's still got his front wing this time.
Great. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Mechanical's got no front wing. So
yeah,
that has ruined his race.
Yeah, and he's dropped all the way down as well.
Yeah, crazy race. Just looking, I'm not sure if Dylan's got wing damage here again. Yeah, he's missing end plates, I think, on both sides. Oh no, he's not. It might just be my eyes.
Yeah, I think
He's very close to Kane Lowry though.
yes, he is. I've mentioned this several times. Yeah, I think Hound just broke himself into turn 1, catching the back of Kieran. I don't think he span him, but he just sent him sideways a bit. But he did give the position back straight away, so fair play on that one.
Yeah, I was on board with Carl off the restart, and from Carl's point of view, it looked like Kieran was wide. Hound had tried going up the inside, so then Carl's tried going up the inside as well.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I've absolutely no reason. I've no. Yeah, sorry. Don't mind me. Carry on.
Carl and Kieran just made it past Saki. Carl up the inside at turn 1. Saki looked like he went wide in at the wall. Kieran took advantage of that as well.
Yeah, I think Saki was just giving the position to his teammate and inadvertently let Kieran through as well.
It didn't look so much like he was giving the position, if I'm honest. It looked like a bit of a fight into turn 1. He didn't make it easy for him.
Apologies. That's what I was going to say. I didn't see any reason why Saki would be fighting his teammate there. That didn't really make any sense to me. You know, obviously we know with Carl being ahead with them wings, Kieran will catch him, but he won't be able to pass him on the straights. So yeah, interesting. I think he just needs to sit behind now and wait for Carl to make a mistake.
Yes, Hound's now made it past Saki as well. Oh, Saki he looks to be going slow. Barks past him, Nerf's past him, Kane Lowry's past him. Is he in the wall?
No, he's moving alright.
He's no front wing. He's no front wing.
Is there any way we can turn the safety car off?
Not mid-session.
Gainful and Dylan. Multi 21.
I thought I'd let you do that. Battling a bit too hard there as teammates, to be perfectly honest. That's Nerf Pack out.
And that is a full safety car again.
Yep, as Jackie's pitted as well, so that'll help Jackie out, to be honest. And Saki as well, who has to pit for the wing damage.
The safety car is going to need another set of tyres.
I'm wondering what the petrol bill is going to be for it.
I'm going to be honest, I'm losing the will to live.
It is what it is. As I say, we get these difficult races. We've just got to deal with it. I think, did we not have similar when we raced here last season?
I think we had some glitch with Tier 2 which caused an issue. Tier 1 was fine, and Tier 3
I'm thinking, me and you on comms, there was a race where it was practically all safety car.
Yeah.
But down to 12 runners now.
Too bad now. Them mediums, what we've left, 6, 9. Yeah, they can get to the end on them. It's absolutely pointless pitting at this stage. The question is, the order can change so much here because there's going to be penalties handed out after the race. Yeah, gutted for North Pack there after showing such good pace. Just caught it through the S's. Might have had his ERS turned on. One thing I don't understand is Dylan has just overtook Gainful, who looked to be struggling from lag, and gave it back. I don't understand teammates fighting each other.
Yeah, a track like this, especially. I mean, in terms of pace, like, you know, if your teammates caught you, I tend to just leave them through.
Yeah, especially second. Ooh, Jackie's retired. Why? And where?
He's crashed out on the back straight. I think. Is that Wab's coming up to him?
Yes, he's under the safety car. That's one less.
Yeah. That's strange. Jackie was in a good position after that safety car as well, making his pit stop there. But now we've got Hound on the podium, Bag, Gameful, Dylan, all back up there. Wabu's come from near the back as well, up to P7. He's on fresher tyres than a lot of the... Well, everyone in front of him. Heartbreak there for Nerfpack.
We've only 8 laps left.
Yeah, just get yourself another beer, we'll be good.
I think the safety car should come in this... no, I'll probably stay out this lap. Which is, you know...
What I'm looking forward to seeing is Carl's safety car restart. Obviously, Kieran knows Carl's fast on the straights, so he didn't want to go too early, whereas Carl...
Yeah.
Would he be bothered about going too early? Gives him a longer run?
I don't think Kieran would catch him. Obviously, the slipstream. Would the slipstream counteract the wings? I'm not sure. Probably more beneficial for Carl to take him to the line and extend his gap on the run of turn 3, but I don't know. It's not me. I'm not sure. I tend to not. I feel personally the closer you get to that start-finish line, the more risk of carnage. So I just tend to go, to be honest with you. And I think Ken Lowry could get sucker punched here again if the safety car decides to come in late.
If it does, it will be a late call.
Yeah, I don't think
we have seen it before, but... Nerfpack has just checked into the comments saying, sorry for another safety car, lads, absolutely gutted. And Blue the little rat pointing out Andy's to blame.
Blue the rat. That'll be the scumbag now.
Saki into the pits. I'm not too sure what's happened there.
Is he going in for softs? Or wing?
His wing looks fine.
He's gone for softs.
Popped a set of softs on.
Which won't last, and he's after killing himself here unless he can catch the back of that pack pretty quick. He might be fast for 3 laps and then absolutely die. Yeah.
Or maybe he's thinking he's potentially got a top 10 on here, so if he can set a fastest lap, you know, there's an extra point.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only lost 1 position anyway, so yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, yeah.
I was going to say it'd be daft for anybody to pull into the petits. Oh God.
Saki is now approaching the Lesmos.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Yeah, it'd be daft for anyone to quit in the pits when everyone's guaranteed points now. Yeah.
On a brighter note, we've no track limits. That's good.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me see if Osso's got a penalty, but I forgot. Yeah, we'll not go there. It's too soon.
Look, it's just one of these things. I think the vast. I don't know how many safety cars we've had, but they've all been caused by debris. They haven't been caused by any collisions. Obviously, guys have came together, but I don't think any of these safety cars have been caused by collisions. It's debris on the track. Simple as that, or DNFs.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, I think most of the safety cars we do get at this track are from people losing it themselves, you know, clipping walls and, as you said, debris. As Mechanicals drop down the order. He's at the back. He's had a spin at the S's. No, he's not, sorry. It looks like it's out of the final corner of Sector 2. Is it turn 16?
That will be 16, I believe. I think Karen's going to take this tonight. No, he's gone. And he's cock here sleeping again, who was weaving. And with the wings he's running and no slip due to Kieran. This is going to be a second at turn 1, if not more.
Yeah, it looks like Kieran's caught Hound sleeping as well there. 2.3 seconds between Hound and Kieran. And Bart's into the pits. And Mechanical's into the pits. Gameful's up past Bart Mandu.
Gameful. Yeah, Dylan nearly broke himself as well. People need to brake earlier on this game. But the storm stands the issue.
Oh, Dylan's just slammed into the back of Bart.
How many announcements do I have to put out? How many times do I have to tag people? You have to brake earlier on this game. It's as simple as that.
Especially after a safety car on colder tyres. As Mechanical's outbroke himself and gone straight on at turn 2 out of the pits. So that will be a cold tyres, cold brakes issue. Barks now spun again. His tyres will be cooked. Kieran has managed to gain on Carl there, as we'd expect through Sector 2. But we'd expect Carl maybe pull away again on the back straight. Let's see. That gap to Hound now, over 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I think Gaines will take Hound pretty, maybe not pretty handy, but I think he will take Hound. Who, you know what, Hound was towards the back after lap 1, so he's not doing too bad, to be fair to him.
No, not a bad result at all. Obviously, unfortunate we caught up in that little incident between Carl, Kieran and Mechanical. Not too sure what went on. As I say, I was on board with Carl through it, but Kieran's having a run at Carl here. Fastest lap of the race as well.
Yeah, I think Carl is just saving up his DRS, and Kieran needs to be careful because he is going to run out as Dylan's into the wing. He definitely has wing damage after that, so...
Yeah, I did mention before, while we were under the safety car, that Dylan had used all the Alpine front wings allowance for the week, and he's continuing to use them. Yeah. Oh, is Gameful going for a move? He is. Oh, they're very close there, Gameful and Hound. Side by side through turn 3.
Oh, Steve.
Steve straight on.
I'm sorry. I think he was just trying to be later on the brakes. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but that's Steve in an awful position though, considering where he was.
Yeah, he's no front wing as well now.
Yeah, Kieran, I think, has made a massive mistake. He's absolutely rinsed his ERS, and Carl is looking after his, so I think Carl can see his way to the end of this race, to be honest. But if Kieran can stay within that DRS, that could make the difference down the back straight. Yeah,
definitely. Kieran does look to be pushing a lot harder than Carl does at the moment, so let's see how this pans out. Gameful 7.5 seconds back now. Webstappen up to P4 after crashing out in Q1.
Yeah, you see Kieran is catching him through the S's.
That's it, he's almost used all his ERS now down this back straight, 14%.
Oh, Carl is not using his ERS, that's brave, he just turned it on very, very late.
Yeah, as we've just got the message now, DRS enabled, this is probably now where Carl will start pushing and using it.
Yeah, I think that's tactically very, very smart what Carl's after doing here, I think, to be honest with you. He's still not using it. He's going to get caught if he doesn't deploy some bit.
Oh, Kieran very close. I thought he were looking at a move there. Hound into the pits. I presume that's for a wing change. Saki back up to P5 as well.
Now, I will point out that I did say that Gainful has his best results as far back as possible, currently occupying the last podium position.
Yeah, Gainful is building a gap on Wab as well. Wab looks to be saving ERS. Kieran's still using ERS. Will Carl? Yeah, Carl's got his ERS on now. He's trying to break that DRS, the detection zone, and he has. He's broke it before the detection zone.
I think Carl has played an absolute blinder here. Kieran has no ERS left, which is going to be costing him big time on the straights.
And that's it. And he's no DRS either.
Yeah, this is sailing off into the distance unless he makes a big mistake. He can use his ERS now on the straight and recharge, whereas I think Kieran needs to start recharging.
Yeah, very good tactical race there from Carl.
I'm going straight out. The driver of the day is Burt Mylander.
He's done very well. He's won it a few times here. Brilliant driving from him. I'm just looking. Verstappen currently at P4, a second behind Gameful after doing a 4-stop and up 14 positions.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been fairly clean between your leaders as well. Kieran catching back up to Carl here through Sector 2.
Yeah, I think Carl is playing Is he playing a dangerous game? I'm not sure. Has he picked up wing damage, I wonder?
Nothing visible.
As Kieran just clips the wall there, I don't think he got wing damage, but...
Carl's using a lot more ERS now.
Yeah, this is going to be a fight to the death, I think. 3 laps.
He's much closer this time. He will have DRS.
I think Carl has wing damage. He's not getting the same top end speed. I think Carl's in big trouble here, if I'm honest. As Kieran sticks it up the inside late.
Yeah. Lucky there were no contact there. Let's see what he does here now. But Carl's not even using ERS down this straight.
I'm going to be honest, I think Carl has wing damage. I'm just looking at the way he's driving. I might be completely wrong. He might have lost his end plate, I'm not sure. He shouldn't be getting caught like this.
As Blue says, very clean driving from Burt. Every lap he's been out, he's led. Unreal pace. Wabstappen as well, half a second now behind Gameful. Wonder if Gameful's tyres are starting to go off a bit. Not too sure if I just caught Kieran clip the castle as well though. I might be wrong. It might have just been as the camera changed, but you look very close to the wall.
It's so hard because there's 11 drivers on track. It's hard to keep up with all the action. I don't think Carl is struggling that much. It's just his top end speed seems to be dropping a bit. I wonder, is he having a bit of tyre wear? I don't know. Kieran's going to have a run at it again. Kieran is losing top end speed because of that DRS deficit, but it's not really making much sense to me. Carl has 2 laps to hang on, and he is deploying now as well, which suggests he is struggling. He's not getting the same speed that he was. He was getting 327 on that back straight with no DRS, and he's at 323 with DRS.
I have it in MPH.
Oh, ERS, apologies.
As Wab's made a move on Gameful. Wab for the final step on the podium. He looks wide on the exit there. Gameful's coming back at him. He tucks in behind.
Yeah, I think Gameful just needs to stay where he is though and recharge DRS and hope for the DRS if he can stick with him. I do think Carl is struggling massively here. He definitely has wing damage. Definitely.
Oh, they're almost side by side through there. Wow. I don't know how they've kept that clean.
It was clean because Carl backed out. Simple as that.
Kieran looked like he cut that little corner there as well just before the castle. I know you can. It is a corner that you abuse anyway for track limits, but this is it. Let's see what happens now. As we get to that back straight, see how Carl does with the DRS.
He has his in plates. He just has lost all pace in the last couple of laps. I don't know why. Either he's lost pace or Kieran has gained it. One or the other.
Yeah, Carl will be hoping to stay with DRS now. Because if he can get this move done, this is the last lap. There shouldn't be anywhere for Kieran to overtake him.
I think he's too far back, but let's see.
Yeah, he's not using ERS either.
Is he waiting for turn 3 possibly?
Oh, Kieran's down to 0% though. Kieran has no ERS. Or is he just hoping for a, I don't know, run down to the line?
Possibly.
Now that would be something to see, wouldn't it?
And it can be done, it absolutely can be done. If but he doesn't have ERS, this is the issue.
Oh, he looks, oh, he's having a look up the inside.
He doesn't have DRS and he doesn't appear to have the downforce in sector 2. He needs to stick with him and reach it.
Oh, he's nearly lost the rear.
It. And that's it.
Yeah, that will be it. I think that's it. Maybe Cal were just really struggling on these hard tyres.
I'm going to drop back again for a see. Can he run him down to the lane?
I've just done the same as well. No bias, but come on, Alpine. Nice run there through Castle. He closed that gap down to half a second. I noticed on the last lap when I mentioned that Wab was within half a second of him, when they got to the Castle, Wab went down to... He lost about half a second, 6/10 through the Castle section.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl 1.3 behind us. Kieran and Carl now starting that run down to the line. Gameful, just short of 7/10.
Yeah, he's been pretty tentative on the throttle as well. I don't think he wants to show away P4 at this stage, and he's too far back, I think. And he is dropping back even further. So that is as it was.
And Kieran has took the race win here at Baku. Carl finishing second, 1.2 seconds behind. Wab finishing off your podium with a brilliant drive up from P18. Gameful as well, not having the best of quali sessions after crashing out. Starting P15 up to 4th. Saki taking P5 on the soft tyres, and Bart has lost it on the last lap at the S's. So it looks like Hound will take P8. It'll be interesting to see how the standings actually finish after penalties are applied.
Yeah, no idea.
Might as well draw a name out of a hat. But yeah, 10 finishers there. Batmandu rounding out the top 10. Just crossing the line now. But yeah, not the definitely not the best race we've seen.
Oh, it's what it is.
It definitely is.
End of the day, everybody has a responsibility to make the race as enjoyable as it can be, and that's where we are with that. So, yeah, fair play to everyone that finished. Top stuff. Everyone in the points. So I think the finishers will be happy.
Yeah, definitely. Good result for Saki there as well, finishing P5. Starting on the hards, dropping down the order after one of the safety car restarts when he was up in second, third, dropping down with wing damage, and then another safety car's helped him out massively, really. But yeah, just to confirm, Kieran taking the win from Paul, Carl as well. The only two of the finishers to do the one stop. Wab doing a 4-stop from 18th to 3rd. Yeah, quite a few lads there. Gameful from 15th to 4th. Saki 16th to 5th. And confirmation of the DNFs we've got there.
Yeah, hard to call it. There's just so much happened.
Yeah, definitely a lot. As we said, stewards will be busy after that. But yeah, make sure you join us next week. We are at Imola.
Ciao.